Hi friends, it has been a hot minute since I have filmed a new video, but just quickly, I had another kid and I started a yarn dyeing business. So let's talk about the yarn. Actually, to start with, why don't we talk about what I'm wearing, which is, I dyed one of the yarns for it. This is my Faded Pillars sweater by Claire Jackson, or Perfectly Knotted. She is a Canadian designer who, I didn't test this one, but I have tested quite a few of her patterns this year. I currently have 2 on my needles, 3 that I finished. I think I've tested for Claire this year more times than I've tested ever, like any patterns. So that should tell you something. She's wonderful to test for. She has wonderful patterns. Anyway, this is the Faded Pillars, and you can see it's called that because it fades down the length of the sweater. I guess you can kind of see it better on my arm. So this is a mixture of mostly fuzzy peach fibers. I got her, she had like a pumpkin collection that I got one of every color because I just loved them all so much and I couldn't pick. And that was probably like in 2020, I want to say 2022 or 2023. I would have to take a look. I'm pretty sure I showed all of them on one of my videos on YouTube. So they all go really well together. And then there is a color in here from, it's a UK dyer. Shoot, I'm not gonna remember the dyer. But it was like one of the first hand dyed skeins that I got. A lot of this is like some of the first hand dyed that I splurged on. That I've just been waiting for the perfect project, and it all just went together so well. And then at the end of the sleeve, I realized I needed another color. So this green speckle is actually one that I dyed. It's, you can see, this is a DK weight pattern and I held fingering double for it. So to do the fade, I just, you know, I held one color double and then I held that color with the next color. And then I had the second color, you know, I just faded it that way. So on the cuff, you can see that is a color that I dyed. That was like one of the first experiments that I did. So I just thought it would be nice to use them all together, and I really like how it turned out. It's finally cold enough. I'm filming this on October 29th. October, what? Mom brain. What month is it? August 29th. Filming this on August 29th, and it's finally cold enough to like wear sweaters once in a while, but it is still very humid outside. So I don't think I'd be able to wear this outside. It's mostly merino. Some of these are like a sock blend, so like a merino nylon, and some of them are 100% merino. So it's a little warm to wear in the humidity, but it's one of my favorite sweaters. Like, I finished this and I think I wore it multiple times a week the entire winter, last winter when I finished it. So anyway, that's what I'm wearing. Let's get into the yarn dyeing. The reason I'm making this video is because I have a collection launching on September 1st and I wanted to kind of show it off. I cannot ship to the US right now. I haven't been able to ship to the UK for a while because figuring all of that out is very expensive. But I don't want to let that stop me from doing the things that bring me joy and launching collections that I had already planned to launch. And the nice thing about this collection, so this is the core collection, which basically is just a collection of colors that are going to be available permanently. I did have a summer version of this collection on like cotton blends, cotton merino blends. And I wanted to do a more wintry version. I'm thinking that this one is going to be available until February, but if February rolls around and people are like, I know that I knit sweaters all year round. So like if February rolls around and people are still wanting wintry yarns, then I'll keep it open longer. But yeah, anyway, sorry, there's gonna be a lot of tangents. I wanted to have a collection that was open permanently, that people could order from. They're mostly tonals. I mean, I'll show them, so I don't have to explain a lot of it. But yeah, like as a dyer, a lot of work goes into making collections, and I think that a lot of collections are kind of fear of missing out based. You know, they're open for a week. Some of the dyers are very popular, so like it's only available for sometimes 24 hours, and like good for them. I'm happy that they're getting that many orders, but I wanted to have something that, you know, I put a lot of work into this, and I don't want it to be a rush for people. I want it to just be open for orders, and people can order it when they want to, when they can afford it, and hopefully that means that I'll be able to ship to the US eventually. I think it's like today was the cutoff for shipping stuff, which is a little bit unfortunate because I had already planned to launch the collection on September 1st. I have no idea how like the duties and stuff are gonna work, so I'm gonna have to wait at least probably a week or two, hopefully a max of a month to figure that out. But in the meantime, like sharing and liking and all of those things help small creators out a ton. So I still want to share it. And hopefully if you are based in the US, you can order it at some point this fall or winter. Yeah, so let's show the yarn. I brought the minis in so that it was easier to show you, but this is the whole collection. And it is basically a rainbow, because I figure for a core collection, you got to hit all of the core colors. So this one, this green is called Courtesy. It's kind of like it's a deep forest green, leaning kind of evergreen. Very pretty. I mean, I think they're all pretty because I dyed them, but anyway, I'll try not to just call everything pretty. This one is Endurance. So it's kind of like a royal blue leading navy. We have Compassion, which is like an eggplanty purple. Bravery is next, which is like this maroon color. Confidence, which is like the perfect pumpkin orange. Devotion, which is like a mustardy gold yellow. And Solace, which is like a charcoal black leaning color, kind of. I just wanted to have a nice dark noodle to tie it all together. And then lastly, not available in the minis, just available in large sets, is Delight, which is a mixture of all of the colors. I just love how this one turned out. It is so pretty. It's like a prism, or like a, oh, I don't even know how to describe it, but I just love how that one turned out. So that one is kind of the culmination of all of these. So it'll be available in mini sets and full skeins. If you go to my website, you can see all of the bases that I carry. I do have a website now, not an Etsy. So this will be the first collection that launches on my website, which I am looking forward to having a little bit more control. Sorry, I'm gonna have some coffee. I'm looking forward to having a little bit more control over how everything looks and how you can shop. So yeah, I am making samples in all of the colors. I haven't done swatches in all of the colors because, first of all, most of them are tonal, so that kind of shows itself. Like they work up pretty evenly. They are tonal, but like they're pretty even. So I will show you some of the samples that I have. This one sitting next to me is the only, I have 2 finished and 2 I'm working on, and 1 a sample maker is making for me. I'm very excited about that one. That one's a secret. So I will show this one first. This is the Chiefest Calamity cowl by Nicole Larkin York. She is Common Thread Fibers on Instagram, and she has a YouTube. So I'll link her in all the places below. So this pattern came out a while ago actually, but I just, I love the motif on it. It's like a dragon scale. So the yellow, that is Devotion. That is the main skein. And then starting with the green, it kind of follows the rainbow order that goes to the blue, which I love how the yellow kind of lightened up the blue a little bit. Like, I feel like on its own, the blue looks quite a bit darker, but in this, it lightened it up. Oh, sorry, dropped something. And then the blue goes to the purple, and then the purple goes to the red. So there's like lots of different ways, like colorways that you can wear this. This is using my woolen fingering base. So it's 100% merino, but it's woolen spun. So it is so lofty. It's like, oh, it just bloomed. It blooms so nicely for color work. So if you want to do the blue and the purple, if you want to do the green and the blue, if you want to do, this is the start of it. So there is more of a line on this one, but I think like when you wear it, you can't even really tell. Like I love that half and half kind of vibe. So I think this is going to be great in the winter time. Like it's going to be so warm, kind of like a ascot style with my winter coat over it is going to keep me so nice and warm. And I think it shows off the colors so beautifully. Like just look at that. I think almost all of Nicole's patterns are like inspired by Lord of the Rings. She has some amazing patterns. There's another one of my samples that is her pattern, so I'll show you that one too. But yeah, I absolutely love how that one turned out. I had a sample maker do this one for me because I did not have enough hands to do all of the things that I wanted to do. And oh man, I'm so glad I did, because I think her tension is just so much better than mine. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, the other project that is done is this sweater. So this was a test knit for Claire Jackson of Perfectly Knotted. So same designer who designed this. This one is not out yet. I think it comes out in September or October. I'll have to double check. But it's still in testing right now, and I decided to use Delight. So I really wanted to show off the color. I really didn't get any pooling other than right in the collar, but I kind of like how it's streaked in the collar. And then I didn't even, I didn't alternate skeins at all. I alternated when I was switching from one skein to another, but I didn't alternate all the way through the body. So I think like maybe like right here I alternated before I moved on to the next skein. And then, so the base I'm using here, again, is my woolen fingering because I'm obsessed with it, held with my brushed wool. So it's kind of like it's a mohair alpaca alternative. So there's a silk core, and then it's kind of like blown wool around it. It's kind of hard to explain. It is so, so soft. It is so soft. And it's a great option for people who can't use mohair or alpaca. It is, I got a fluff in my nose, sorry. So this is the color Delight on both. So I'm holding 2 strands together because again, this is a DK weight. So this is the Compass Crew sweater. And it's called that because it has these lines on the front and on the back and then down the arms. It's kind of hard to tell because it's like right on the fold, but I think you can see it's going down the arms too. And it really stands out. Even in this highly variegated yarn, the line really, really stands out, which I love how that turned out. So I'm trying to, hopefully you can see that. And then I was playing a little bit of yarn chicken. And the nice thing about dyeing your own yarn is if you're playing yarn chicken, you can just dye yourself some more. But I decided to use another color to kind of show how it works, like how it works out. So the bottom of the sleeves, you can kind of see where it goes from super colorful to only partially colorful. And that's because the bottom of the sleeves and the bottom of the body, I actually held solace in the fingering with the brushed wool in Delight. So the brushed wool is the same color all the way through, and then just at the bottom of the sleeves, you can kind of see it's very subtle. Like it's not super noticeable, but I think it just gives a fun little difference around the bottom of the body and of the sleeve. So this fits amazing. It's been either way too hot and humid to wear a full wool sweater, or the lighting has been terrible. It's just like been rainy. So I'm hoping, it is supposed to rain today, but I'm hoping that it stays kind of light like this enough that I can take some photos of it. Because I've already done like the feedback form and everything, but I haven't given Claire any nice photos of it, and I'd love to share it on my Instagram as well. I did end up doing the sleeves a little bit too long. She has a decrease rate for the sleeves that I followed, but I knit straight just a little bit longer before I started doing the decreases. And then I did the decrease rate, but then I forgot that I did that and I decreased to the correct number, but that means I did 2 extra repeats of those rows. So I think I knit an extra 2 inches, which means the sleeves are about 2 inches too long, but that actually works out fine because I just have the cuff folded back on itself, which I think is a great look. I love a folded cuff. And it means that in like the dead of winter, if I'm a little extra chilly, I can fold the cuff down and like it comes a little bit further down my hand. Like this one is definitely bracelet length. I can kind of pull it, but not really. It's definitely like bracelet length. And this one probably comes like almost all the way down my thumb because of the extra, the extra 2 inches. So it'll be extra cozy in the winter time. So if I manage to get some photos of me wearing it, I'll try to pop it up on the screen. And if not, you can check out my Instagram because I will hopefully have photos of it soon. But yeah, I really like how it turned out. Okay, the next samples I have a sweater that is in Testing by Claire Jackson. Again, perfectly knotted. So this is the Campus Crew, I've been getting them confused. This is the Compass Crew. This is the Campus Crew. So I am using Bravery and Compassion. So Bravery is the red and Compassion is the purple. I really like how subtle the striping is. Like there is not a huge contrast between all of the colors except for the yellow and the orange. They really stand out, which is why I used it in the color work. But this one is a lot more subtle and it's really giving me rugby vibes. The thicker stripes and the color choice. So I am partially down the body. I have quite a few. I think I have at least 3 more stripes to do and then the ribbing. I need to decide what color I want to do the collar though. I'm at the point now where I should pick up and do the collar so that I know exactly, like that really can affect the length of like the sleeves and the body and everything. So I usually do the collar when I'm kind of partially done the body. So I need to decide if I want it to be a red sweater with purple stripes or a purple sweater with red stripes, because I feel like whatever color the collar is will kind of not overpower, but like it will be the main color because it'll have more of that color. So I need to decide if I want the red next to my face or the purple next to my face. I feel like both of them look good. I love purple. I'm like such a purple person. I really, really like purple. But the red is just so different from anything I own. So if you have any opinions, let me know in the comments about which one I should do. Maybe once I'm done this stripe, I'll do the collar. I can always pick up for the collar, and if I hate it, then I'll just take it out and do the purple. Like, it's not that bad. For pattern details, this I think will be available in November. I think I said that. It is a DK weight pattern, which I'm discovering is like my absolute favorite. Like a 19-20 stitch garment is like my sweet spot. I have a lot of fingering weight like in my stash here. You can see behind me. Because when I first started out, I was doing a lot of socks, and then I'm like, well, it's just easier just to get fingering weight. And that's fine, but I have started a few fingering weight garments and I have frogged all of them. I have not finished any of them. So I think from now on, I need to like remember that this is the gauge that I like, the DK. I could even get a worsted weight, like a 20 stitch gauge. I could easily get that gauge with a worsted weight. For this, I'm holding fingering double because I really like fingering double for a 20 stitch gauge, because fingering double is just a little bit thicker than a true DK, or at least the DK bases that I have. Anyway, I really like it. I'm very excited to be able to wear that this fall. And I just really, really like the stripes. So that is that sample that I am working on actively. It's on my needles. That's the purple. The other sample that I'm working on that I've kind of paused a little bit on just because it's not a test knit, it's just a sample knit, is my I call it Thorin's Shawl. It has a different name. King Under the Mountain. King Under the Mountain is the shawl name. Yeah, my ball kind of fell apart and that frustrated me, so I put it down. This is also by Nicole of Common Thread Fibers. Like, look at this. Look at this mess. Oh my goodness. I need to fix this. I hate that so much. Okay, but it doesn't mean I can't show you how gorgeous this shawl is. So this is using Devotion. Look how beautiful those cables are. Oh my goodness. And the gold. So, so pretty. So this is a very large triangle shawl. Cables cinch it in quite a bit, but like it's gonna grow. So like I can't even show the whole thing. Like this is, I know it's gonna grow like quite a bit. So you cast on, and then as you're doing the repeats, you're decreasing on the one side, which I love that because it means the rows are getting shorter every time instead of longer every time, which in my mind, it's the same amount of knitting going from small to big, but in my mind, going from big to small goes faster. I don't know why. So I'm not quite halfway, I think. And the other thing is I know that I'm gonna run out of yarn. I need to dye myself another ball, which is unfortunate. But I'm doing this off gauge. I believe it's a fingering or DK weight, and I'm using, I believe it's fingering weight, and I'm using worsted, but I'm using worsted on a small needle. I'm using worsted on a 4mm, just because I really wanted it to be tight. I tend to be a looser knitter, especially with cables. And just look at the stitch definition. The worsted weight base that I have is honestly, it's so perfect for cables. It's a 4-ply and it's so plump. I hate that word. Ugh. Anyway, new version unlocked. It's full-bodied. I don't know what a good word is for it. Describing things is tough. But it has the best stitch definition. It's a super wash and I just love it. So I am very excited about this. I think I'm gonna block it at this point and get some nice pictures to put on Instagram just to show off the pattern and the yarn color. But I am really looking forward to having this as a shawl. I think it'll just be absolutely gorgeous, but I have been focusing on my test knits because I keep signing up for new test knits. I think after this, I have another one. I'm not gonna show you because I'm just using stash yarn for it. I decided to cast something on just for me and not a sample for once, because I've been doing samples like all year long for my own yarn. And I have beautiful yarn that I've purchased that I also want to use. So anyway, again, a tangent. More coffee. What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, I have the Campus Crew sweater Campus Crew that I just tested, Campus Crew that I am testing, and then the Scorned sweater by Claire Jackson that I'm also testing. That is an advent pattern. Like she has lots of different options for that. So that's coming out in December. If I do like an actual podcast episode, I'll show you all of the projects that I'm working on. But this one I really wanted to focus on like the yarn that is launching in 2 days. So I'm gonna film this, gonna edit this, and then go do a bunch of computer work that needs to get finished on my website for that. But those are my samples. I dyed some blue yarn, this one, on a sport weight base that I'm testing out. I don't love selling bases that I haven't used or haven't at least gotten a sample made in. So I want to test out, it's a non-superwash sport weight. So I want to test it out. So I dyed this color because I love this color. I love all the colors. I don't know why I keep saying it. To make a best dressed vest by Ashley of Design by So and So. I tested that this spring with my yellow, actually. My summer version of my yellow, which winter version is Devotion, summer version was Loyalty. on my cotton merino fingering base, but I did get gauge with it, but it is a sport weight pattern. So I wanted to make a winter version because it's such a beautiful vest. Hopefully I'll pop up a picture. And one of her samples was in like a blue. And so I really would love a winter version to put over. I have some dresses that I think if I just had like this vest over top of it, it would help me wear it a little bit longer into the winter time. So summer version, winter version, not the summer color. The summer color was more like a butter yellow, very on trend. Didn't even know it was a trend until someone told me, but I'm here for it. I love butter. Anyway, another tangent. So I have more samples coming. I have a sample being made that uses all of the colors, all of the tonal colors, not Delight, because I already have this sample for Delight. But that I'm very excited about as well. I'm excited about all of it because it's my yarn. And it's so fun to see things come to life in something that you've created. The other exciting thing that I'm also going to have for this collection is fiber. So this is Delight on a non-superwash merino base. So I have merino, BFL, and Corriedale. This is, I've already split it in two just for the pictures, but it'll come in 100-gram braids. And I've decided to stick with just the one color because I prefer spinning like multicolored braids instead of just tonal braids. And in the past when I've done tonal braids, they haven't done very well. So I'm just gonna stick with the one color. Absolutely love it. I'm going to try to do a fractal spin. So what that means, to my understanding, I am not like a super seasoned spinner. I have an electric spinning wheel from Dreaming Robots. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's the 6.1, I think. So fractal spin. I've already split it in two. And now the one side, I'm gonna split into 4, and the other side, I'm gonna split into 8. So I'm gonna spin, you know, this times 8. So the color changes will be a lot faster. And then this into 4, which means the color changes will be a little bit slower, and then I'll apply them together, and that should give me kind of like a spin cycle-y, like, I think, from my understanding. We'll see if I actually manage to do it, but that's what I'm going to try to do. So that's going to be my sample spin, and I just finished my last spin, the singles at least. So I'm going to get that off of my wheel, and I'm going to get this onto my wheel, and then I'll be able to share that with everybody. And that is basically everything that I wanted to share with you. It's been a long time since I've filmed, because running a business and being a mom of 2 littles that are not in school yet takes up a lot of my time, as you can imagine. I really miss updating you on my projects and stuff. This actually, like, filming this came a little bit easier than I expected it to, just because it's been so long since I have filmed any content. And I really enjoy watching knitting podcasts. However, I have been kind of tired of some of them, just because they all share the same projects. Like, I don't knit petite knit. I don't knit My Favorite Things knitwear. I've never knit Sari Nordland's patterns, although I do believe, if not all, then the majority of hers are at least size inclusive. The other 2 are not. I believe in supporting smaller creators and size inclusive patterns. So I do like Rebecca Clow, and I think that at this point, she's one of the larger creators, like one of the larger pattern designers, which good for her. I love, I think 90% of the patterns that she comes out with. So I do like that. But I usually knit like size 5 or 6 in a pattern. And I think that the patterns that I knit are not often talked about on other knitting podcasts. So I would like to put something out there for people who maybe resonate a little bit more with someone who is not knitting the smallest size of a pattern and isn't knitting a pattern that maybe, you know, 10 other podcasters are talking about. So I would like to make the time. It's not going to be weekly. I'm hoping it could be monthly, but I can't make any promises because when you have little kids, stuff happens. So that is my intention, and we'll see if I get there. But for now, I just really wanted to share this yarn that I'm really excited about. And if you could give it a like or a share on Instagram, or if you want to follow along with the potentially this journey continuing, you can subscribe to my channel and like this video. And hopefully I will see you again sooner than the last time.